first with a review of the agencies that we've covered so far. I want you to look at the picture as we have before, and starting at the bottom left, there's the man with a sharp sickle or a scythe. The Lord uses one of these to separate you from the world and draws you to himself. But he does that just as you are. Second, the next picture is a cane or a sledge, and he's using a cane. The Lord uses one of these to separate that baggage, that stuff that you've been carrying around all your life. Where the Lord's taking you, you're not going to need any of it. The third one is the wind, a fork or a basket, and the man has a fork. The Lord's breath separates and scatters all of that baggage. So now you can move forward with your life. Now in Leviticus, only the finest of anything was offered to the Lord. So the fourth agency is fire. For this, the Lord puts you into a community. This is a fire pan, Beit Tehila. And there you study the Torah, which is his fire. He parches and changes you the way other people see you. This way, your outer self changes to the Lord's design, and you are separated more from the world in order to be set closer to him. The world does not come with you. Now, the Lord's purpose is to separate and change you into his image by all of those agencies. Look at the capital letters. I've made more names for our Lord. The harvester's sickle separates you from the world. The thresher's cane separates baggage. The winnower's wind separates and scatters the baggage. And the heater's fire changes your outer looks. The Lord does all of it. You're not being attacked by the world. Now, before the next step, after all that hot heat, the Lord must cool you down because you've been through that fiery trial. Are you ready now to cool down? Okay, so you're mellow, relaxed, calm. Look, Lord, wait a minute. You don't mean that, do you? Are you serious? Is this what you planned for me all along? Lord, look at me. I'm a good person now. I dress well, and I am here. I'm on the Shabbat and Sabbath. I don't do those pagan things again like Christmas and Easter. I don't do those anymore. And I don't have false gods anymore. So what about all those things that we just went through? Do we have to do something else? Okay, Lord. Yes. I want to be your bride, and you know what I need in order to be your bride. So, okay, what's next, Lord? Bring it on. The fifth agency is where all of those good seeds are made into coarse, medium, or fine flour on a grinding stone. And good people are going to be changed once more. So turn to chapter 11 if you have your book, grinding. The Lord is going to put you, his good seed, on a mill. Go ahead. Like that. A grinding stone. And you're going to be crushed and separated again. You're between that rock and a hard place, and there's no escape route. There are no crevices, and there's no wind to keep you from all that crushing. This is going to be the end of your outer looks. You are going to be fully exposed. All of those hidden things are now coming out. There are 2 family-sized millstones, both of which are small in comparison to that communal one you just saw. So why? Why is it necessary for you to go through that mill or that grinding? Why? It's really not necessary. If you want to get off the track, you can. But after the winnowing, the good seeds were set aside. Some were put aside for planting, some for roasting to eat. And of course, there could be some that would be ground and made into flour. You could do that too. But none of those seeds were destined for the Lord's altar fire. So we're going to look closer at grinding, and that produces the flour in different stages of refinement. Each type of flour is milled or ground or pulverized for a specific purpose and for a different length of time until the coarse, medium, or fine is produced. It's the same for you, that length of time. Because the Lord's portion is always the finest, and it takes the longest. So what do you want? That's the way it's going to be for his bride. So is there any particular significance for you? Well now, isn't it true that people come to the Lord in different stages of sanctification? Right? What about the apostles who lived and walked with Yeshua? What about the thief on the cross who died with him quickly? Luke 23, 40 through 43. Or the person that you know who repented just before his last breath. Or Johnny Erickson Tata, a quadriplegic gospel speaker and artist. Or Pastor Richard Wurmbrand, who prayed for and with the people who were torturing him in the Hungarian prison. What about Billy Graham, the evangelist? They were different people, justified, but their sanctification is different. So we're not all equal in the depth of our sanctification, only in justification. So this refining step takes the most time and work, keep working, and it requires a lot to prepare you to be the bride. But then I asked my favorite question, why? Why, Lord? And I found the figurative definition of to mill to be very interesting back in my 1940 Webster's. To mill is an experience that tortures but refines. It might even disillusion someone. To mill is that experience that tortures but refines or disillusions. And I personally can recall experience in my life that I almost never ever came back to church or read the Bible. I was so angry. The experiences refined who I saw the Lord to be and who I saw myself to be. That's what the grinding can do. Can you recall experiences that have refined you? Or have you been disillusioned and your perception of the Lord and yourself are still struggling and fighting? Think about it. We all go through it. Now, furthermore, the colloquial explanation of through the mill means to take one through the sufficient disciplines or training necessary to bring one to a certain degree of knowledge or skill or mental state. All right, once more, I want you to say this and let it sink in. And we're going to say it, but we're going to make the pronoun me. Ready? Go. The colloquial explanation for through the mill. It takes me through the sufficient disciplines or training necessary to bring me to a certain degree of knowledge or skill or mental state. And of course, the one that gave me the most question was the ending. Mental state? And that is the key. That's what shed more light on the preparation of the good seed into his bride. But there's more to this definition. Here it is. It's to refine or transform using a millstone, which is figuratively a heavy burden. That's the definition. Makes sense now? Okay. So there's a family size millstone. This is why you must go under the millstone. It's about your mental state. Just how pure are you? So which describes your state of purification? Would you say this you're 10% purified? 25? 33 1/3? 50%? Is there room for more purification? To be the Lord's bride, there must be a low percent of me and a high percent of the Lord. That's right, because only the finest, which resembles him, will be chosen as the Lord's bride. Now, to reach this quality, the millstone must grind over and over and over and over and over and over and over to make you finer and finer. Yet, the Creator's eyes will never leave you while the crushing grinds away. The world may not look like a good place to you right now, so focus once more on the Lord, not on your surroundings until that millstone is silent. And look up at him. Thank you. Okay, we end by saying one more thing. We're looking up at the Lord, and now I say, look at me, I'm ready for the wedding. I'm ready, Lord, ready. And he replies, no, my love, there's one more. Remember how much I love you. Ready? All righty. We'll say it. Ready? Let's go. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu al sifarat ha-omer. Blessed are you, O Lord our God, King of the universe, whose commandments add holiness to our lives and who gives us the command of counting the Omer. Today is 35 days, which is 5 weeks and 0 days of the counting of the Omer. Great. Remember to show me how you are doing it. Show me your ways.